Hello, Derek. Good to see you again with the same group and same group members. Today we are going to do an assessment 2 multimedia presentation. So the topic of ours is needs of children of care and connection. Introduction is going to do by the ETCH203. Over to him.
Hi, Derek. I'm talking about introduction. So, importance of belonging, care, and connection. So, first of all, in early childhood education, meeting children need to belong, care, and connect is important for their development. Belonging is a feeling of acceptance, appreciation, and attachment of children to their families and all the learning and communities. So, when the educators nurture and treat them well with respect, children receive emotional security and confidence, and this accept has a positive impact on their behavior, as well as secure relationship also enable children to manage their emotions, to collaborate with other people, and to learn. Whereas a sense of insecurity can cause withdrawal or problematic behaviors. That was according to Porter. So now, according to attachment theory, the emotional and physical needs of children can be effectively addressed when attentive caretakers are available to support them and provide a safety net in terms of exploration and social encourage. Inclusion, care, and connection facilitate holistic development of children in emotional, social, and cognitive aspects. So that's my first slides, and the next slides is about educators' role in fostering belonging. So, as you know, that educators have a crucial role to play by establishing routines that are predictable, empathetic, and supportive, as well as promote collaboration for enhancing the feelings of belonging in every child. So the earlier learning framework, EYLF version 2, identifies as a sense of belonging as a core to the well-being and learning of children, and the importance of belonging in childhood in facilitating the development of identity, resilience, and positive behaviors. So the other parts will be discussed by my friend Sneh. I would like to pass to him.
Today I'm going to discuss the significance of the connections between young children's context, brain, holistic development, and their needs, and how all this influences their behavior and how they communicate. So the first slide is about Offenbrenner's theory. We're going to talk about how the communications build the relationships between the children's, how the communications build the children's behavior through communications with family, um, adults, educators, peers, community, and the wider cultures. So he starts with children's behavior are shaped by the interactions between the context, brain development, holistic growth, and needs. So over here he's talking about the individual children and ecosystem, the connection between the individual and ecosystem. According to Burners, children immediate relationships and environment influence how they feel, learn, and communicate. It makes sense because the children doesn't behave in isolations. Their actions are shaped by the relationships and environments around them. Also, what he included in the ecological system. The last point is early experiences impact the developing brain, especially area linked to emotion regulations and self-control, such as the prefrontal cortex. It is according to the center of the developing child. The next slide is about the holistic development, understanding behaviors through holistic development. Over here, now you're going to look on the holistic development. It means recognizing that a child's social, emotional, cognitive, and physical developments are all interconnected. Let's say if a child feels anxious or unsafe, it can directly affect their ability to concentrate, learn, and build friendships. Supporting one area of development, such as emotional well being, support all the others. Finally, every behavior communicates a need. Sometimes children can't yet use words to say, I'm tired or I feel left out. Instead, their behavior becomes their language. When educators understand their behavior is communication, they can respond with empathy rather than punishment. Help children feel understood and connected. Also, educators should view behavior as communication, responding with empathy to foster belonging, security, and emotional growth. And I would like to over to Mahakdeep for the rest of the pedagogical practice.
Hi Derek, my name is Mehak and now I'm going to talk about children's behavior, shows their emotions and bond. The secure attachment allows for trust, exploration, and emotional control. Teachers must remain empathic, reliable, and attuned while responding to children. Behavior is equal to communication, not defiance. Not defiance, especially during the early years. Emotions coaching helps children label and regulate emotions. Routine and transition consistency reduce stress and aid with regulation. Tassoni emphasizes guided interactions and modeling to support children to be with others. EYLF's outcome one supports identity and belonging through secure relationships. Care and connection form the foundation of guiding behavior with respect. In my next slide, I'm going to talk about relationships shaping the behavior and belonging. Porter promotes guidance approaches that teaches skills, not punish. Co-regulation and collaborative problem solving build emotional competence. Strength-based language affirms children's efforts and identity. Tassoni highlights inclusive environments and adult modeling. Small group play and key educator systems deepen the relationship bonds. Visual schedule, sensory space, and cultural materials support emotional safety. Trauma informed and neurodiversity, inclusive practices are essential. Reflective practice and team collaborative ensure consistency. EVLF Principle 1 secures respectful and reciprocal relationships, guide all interactions. Now, Simran will speak rest of the part.
Hi, myself Simran. Today I'm going to explain 5 pedagogy teaching strategies linked with EYLF in relation to meeting children's needs to belong, care, and connection. So, first and foremost, intentional teaching, which means that educator purposely model positive ways of communicating and managing emotions in center. Like for example, when a child becomes frustrated after a block tower collapse, the educator might say, I can see you are feeling disappointed. Don't worry, let's take a deep breath together and try it again. This shows children how to recognize feelings and respond calmly instead of reaching out with frustration, according to Kazan and Rasminsinki. So, this directly supports EYLF outcome 3, which is children become strong in their social and emotional well being. As children learn to identify emotions, manage them, and develop coping strategies, according to Australian Government Department of Education. Second, secure attachment and enriched caregiving, which is fostered through warm, predictable, and responsive interactions between teachers and children. For example, educators greet each child individually at arrival, offering a smile, calling their name, and engaging in a short conversation. This communicates that each child feels safe, valued, and seen. So, this strongly supports learning outcome 1, which is children have a strong sense of identity as consistent, trusting relationships enable children to confidently explore and engage in learning. Third is scaffolding. Scaffolding emotional learning is means giving children the right amount of help to learn new emotional and social skills. For example, if two children want the same paintbrush, the educator may guide one child to say, can I have a turn when you are finished? Instead of grabbing it from the child. So, this supports learning outcome 2, which is children are connected with and contribute to their world. As children learn cooperative behavior and respectful social interactions. Fourth is small group discussions. So during small group story sessions, children can talk about characters, feelings, or resolve puppet conflicts. For example, after reading a book about friendship, the educator may ask, how do you think the character felt when their friend left? This support outcome 5, which is children interact verbally and non-verbally for a range of purposes. As children use language to express emotion, negotiate, and build relationships. So, last is reflective conversations, which help children learn from experiences. For example, after a playground disagreement, the educator may ask, what happened? How did your friend feel? What could you try next time? So, this teaches emotional insight and accountability, and which is also linked with outcome 4, children are confident, involved learners. So, next part, I would like to pass it on the Sahaj.
Hi, Rick. So today I'll be telling about 5 pedagogical learning activities. So my first learning activity is kindness tree, or we can say connection wall. Children's behavior are shaped by the interaction between their context, brain development, holistic growth, and needs. According to Bronfenbrenner's by ecological model, children imitate relationships and environments influence how they feel, learn, and communicate. Early experiences impact the developing brain, especially areas linked to emotion regulation and self-control, such as prefrontal cortex, center on developing the child. Circle time. This activity is basically for connection. Circle time creates a daily opportunity for children to share their feelings, listen to others, and participate in activities such as songs or morning greetings. This supports self regulation, active listening, and empathy, key behaviors that strengthens group harmony. It also links to the theory of Porter, explains that predictable, emotionally secure group routines promote cooperation and reduce behavioral changes. The third activity is all about me. Identity projects. So, children showcase their family, culture, and interests. These can be displayed in the classroom to affirm each child's identity. When children see themselves reflected in the environment, they develop pride and confidence. It links to theory. Tassoni notes that acknowledging children's individuality helps them develop a sense of self and mutual respect. Then we comes up to the fourth activity, emotion coaching through storytelling. Using stories that explore friendships, inclusion and empathy, such as The Invisible Boy by Trudy Lowring or Have You Filled a Bucket Today by Carol McLeod, educators can help children identify emotions and discuss the kind of behaviors. According to Porter, emotion coaching supports self-awareness, empathy, helping children manage their emotions constructively. The last activity we come up to cooperative play and group solving problems. So it actually means encouraging children to reflect on experiences and emotions after events. For example, after a playground conflict, asking what happened? How did your friend feel? What could you try the next time? Develops it develops insight, accountability, and problem solving. It links to the EYLF link outcome 4. Children are confident and involved learners, as this activity basically tells us this. It builds self awareness, decision making, and critical reflection. Now, I'd like to pass on Ranjin for the reflection.
Reflection. So basically, reflecting on the significance of attachment and connection in an early childhood setting, it is clear that children's behavior is often a form of communication rather than a sign of delicacy or misbehavior. Children express their needs, emotions, and understanding of the world by their actions. And it is the responsibility of us educators to interpret these behaviors with care and insights rather than responding with control of punishment. Educators can adopt a relation approach, seeking to understand the underlying behind a child's behavior. This shift is in perspective allows adults to respond with greater empathy and compassion, helping children feel heard, valued, and supported. As also Porter said, secure attachment provides a foundation for trust, exploration, and self-management. When children feel secure, attached to their educators and caregivers, they are more willing to engage with environment, explore new ideas, and form positive relationship with peers. Tashoni further emphasizes the critical role of adults in guiding children in social and emotional skills needed to interact with peacefully and respectfully with others. Attachment and connection are not merely concepts, they are lived experiences in early childhood settings. By centering relationship, emotional support, and inclusivity, educators create environments where